There is a truth the world rarely speaks about: the hidden cost of intimacy with the wrong soul. Society tells us it's just fun, just a moment, just pleasure without consequence. But those who are spiritually awake know better. Every time you give yourself to someone, you are giving away far more than your body. You are opening the gates of your spirit, your heart, and your destiny. The exchange is invisible, but the effects are lasting. What looks like a night of passion can quietly become years of pain, confusion, and delay. Many of you have felt it before. You meet someone who seems magnetic, tempting, even irresistible. Your spirit whispers no, but your flesh says yes. And in that weakness, something sacred gets handed over. Chosen ones, you must understand that intimacy is not just biology. It is covenant. It is an agreement between souls, a spiritual transaction that carries with it either blessing or curse. When it is with the right person, aligned with your destiny, it multiplies your light, strengthens your clarity, and pushes you forward into purpose. But when it is with the wrong soul, it drains you, scatters you, and steals from you silently. This is why so many feel broken without knowing why. They wake up with unexplained heaviness, anxiety that doesn't belong to them, or sadness they cannot trace. They lose their sense of direction. They start doubting God's promises, and slowly, they stop moving toward their calling. Chosen ones, the wrong soul is not just a distraction. It is a destiny thief. In this message, we're going to go deep into the unseen costs of giving yourself to the wrong person. These are not small wounds. They are spiritual scars that many never recover from, unless they deliberately break free. And as you listen, you may recognize patterns in your own life that suddenly make sense. If that happens, don't ignore it. It means this message is meant for you. So I ask you, the chosen ones, to listen closely. Guard your spirit, guard your body, and most importantly, guard your destiny. Because what feels like a single choice in a moment of weakness can echo across years of your life. Let's begin. One of the first and most dangerous costs of being with the wrong soul is the silent leak of your energy. Intimacy is not just a meeting of bodies. It is a transfer of life force. When you unite with someone, you are opening the door for their spirit, their energy, and even their generational baggage to flow into your sacred space. If that person is carrying heaviness, addictions, or brokenness, those things can quietly attach themselves to you. This is why so many suddenly feel drained after intimacy. You wake up the next morning not just tired physically, but tired in your soul. Your motivation disappears. Your joy feels dulled. The ideas and creativity that once flowed easily now feel blocked. It's as if someone siphoned your inner light without asking permission. And the truth is, they did. Because intimacy is permission. For chosen ones, this cost is especially heavy. Your energy is different. It is divine, set apart, and marked for destiny. The enemy knows that if he cannot defeat you openly, he will try to drain you silently. And one of the easiest ways for that drain to happen is through the wrong relationship. You may think it was just a night, just a moment, but days later, you're still dragging, still heavy, still unfocused. That is not coincidence. It is spiritual leakage. Think of it like this. Every time you connect with someone, cords are tied between you. These cords allow the flow of energy both ways. If that person is whole, loving, and aligned with God, then the exchange can strengthen you. But if they are broken, bitter, or bound by darkness, then their chaos becomes yours. Their storms become your storms. And you are left carrying a weight that doesn't even belong to you. Chosen ones, this is why you must guard your temple. Not every touch is healing. Some touches are hidden siphons that steal your destiny drop by drop. If you have felt unexplainable exhaustion, fear, or confusion after being with someone, you are not imagining it. You are feeling the energy leak, and until you cut that cord and reclaim your power, the drain will continue. Protect your light at all costs, because once your energy is gone, everything else in your destiny becomes harder to reach. Chosen ones. Another hidden danger of intimacy with the wrong soul is what I call spiritual baggage transfer. This is when you suddenly begin carrying burdens that never belonged to you. Imagine stepping into a relationship, thinking it's just connection or desire, only to wake up with fears, insecurities, or struggles that were never yours before. This happens because sex is not just physical, it is spiritual. It is one of the most powerful gateways for spirits, both light and dark, to cross over. When you unite with someone who is broken, their battles become yours. Their depression can become your depression. Their anger can suddenly rise up inside you without explanation. Their addictions may creep into your life until you find yourself tempted by things you never once desired. This is not random. It is transfer. It is the silent exchange of spirits through covenant. Chosen ones. This is why you must be vigilant. Some of you are carrying trauma that isn't even yours. You wake up anxious, heavy, or confused, and you don't know why. You think you're battling your own demons, when in truth you've taken on someone else's. Their wounds jumped onto you through the gateway of intimacy. And until you break that connection, you'll keep fighting battles that don't even belong to your story. Think about it. How many times have you felt like your peace was stolen after being with someone? How many times have you found yourself wrestling with temptations you never had before? That's not coincidence. It's evidence. Evidence that what entered your temple through desire has now taken a seat in your spirit. Chosen ones, not every burden you're carrying is your own. And the more you tie yourself to the wrong person, the more baggage you inherit. This is why the enemy loves counterfeits. They look appealing, but hidden inside them are curses, wounds, and chains that will be passed to you. Protect your temple, because once the baggage transfers, it takes intentional prayer, fasting, and breaking of ties to set yourself free. Another cost that is rarely spoken of is the crushing weight of guilt and shame. After being with the wrong person, it often creeps in like a whisper. At first, it's subtle. You feel a little unworthy, a little hesitant to pray. But over time, the shame grows louder. It tells you you're dirty, unclean, unloved. It convinces you that you don't deserve to stand boldly in God's presence. And so you begin to withdraw. This is spiritual paralysis. You stop praying the way you used to. Worship feels empty. You avoid spiritual spaces because you feel like a hypocrite. The guilt convinces you that God doesn't want you anymore, when in reality, He is waiting with open arms. The enemy thrives in this space because shame silences the voice of the chosen ones. It steals confidence, dims the light, and locks you into spiritual shadows. And here's the danger. Shame doesn't just affect your relationship with God. It affects your relationship with yourself. You stop seeing yourself as a vessel of destiny. You start believing that you are unworthy of leading, teaching, or inspiring others. The very gifts God placed in you are smothered under layers of silent condemnation. Chosen ones. One thing you must keep in your mind is this. Shame is one of the enemy's sharpest weapons. But it is also one of his greatest lies. Because the truth is this. God's grace is greater than your mistakes. His mercy is stronger than your shame. The blood of Christ is not weakened by your wrong choice. It is the very thing that redeems you from it. But you must make a decision. You must choose to repent, to release the tie, and to walk back into the light. The cost of intimacy with the wrong soul is not just brokenness in the moment. It is a prison of guilt that keeps you from fulfilling your destiny. Don't stay in that prison. Break free. Rise up. Chosen ones. Your calling is too great to remain silent under the weight of shame. Perhaps the greatest tragedy of all is this: intimacy with the wrong soul can block the arrival of your true kingdom partner. God, in His wisdom, will not place your king or queen into a heart that is still tied to counterfeits. Why? Because if He gave you the blessing while you were still entangled, you wouldn't recognize it. You would overlook the right one because your spirit was still imprisoned by the wrong one. Think about it. How many chosen ones are fasting, praying, crying out for a divine partner, yet they're still lying with someone who was never part of God's design? They beg for a king but entertain counterfeit princes. They long for a queen but hold on to Delilahs who drain their strength. And God, in His holiness, waits. He waits until the vessel is ready. He waits until the counterfeit is released. He waits until the soul is free enough to steward the real blessing. When you are bound to the wrong soul, your heart is not open for the right one. Your spirit is clouded. Your discernment is hijacked. You are still busy healing from wounds that should have never been opened. And so, when your true partner arrives, you cannot receive them fully. Chosen ones, this is why guarding your purity and your spirit is not just about you. It's about your future. It's about your kingdom marriage, your legacy, your destiny. The partner God has prepared for you is not just a spouse. They are a divine assignment, a multiplier of your calling. And if you are still chained to counterfeits, you risk missing them entirely. Release what is not of God. Close the door on attachments that were never meant for you. Purify your temple and prepare your heart. Because when you let go of the counterfeit, the divine will appear faster than you ever imagined. Chosen ones, don't let temporary pleasure block eternal purpose. Your true partner is waiting for the free, whole, and ready version of you. One of the most painful costs of intimacy with the wrong soul is the quiet theft of your peace of mind. It doesn't happen all at once. At first, you convince yourself that everything is fine. You tell yourself it was just one mistake, or that the connection isn't that serious. But slowly, you begin to notice the shift. Your thoughts feel restless. Your sleep becomes shallow. Your mind keeps replaying conversations, moments, or arguments long after they're over. The peace you once carried so naturally begins to fade. Instead of waking up with clarity, you wake up heavy. Instead of feeling focused and free, you feel scattered and uneasy. This is not a coincidence. It's the effect of tying yourself to someone who was never meant to carry a place in your spirit. Chosen ones, you must understand that peace is one of the greatest gifts God gives His children. Peace is proof that He is near. But the enemy knows this, and he targets your peace because without it, you cannot think clearly, pray boldly, or move confidently towards your calling. When you lie with the wrong person, it's as if you hand over the keys to your inner sanctuary. They walk in with their chaos, and your peace of mind walks out. Have you ever noticed how much harder it is to focus on prayer, work, or even simple daily tasks after being connected to the wrong person? That's not just emotions, that's spiritual disturbance. And until you release that tie, the disturbance will continue to eat away at your calm. Chosen ones, peace is not optional. It's your weapon. Without peace, you become vulnerable to confusion, manipulation, and fear. With peace, you can hear God's voice clearly, see red flags quickly, and walk in strength. Guard your mind fiercely, because what you let in through intimacy has the power to either strengthen or shatter your inner calm. Don't sacrifice your peace for a moment of pleasure. The cost is far too high. So what we've uncovered today is not light. It is heavy, but it is true. The wrong soul doesn't just touch your body. They touch your destiny. They drain your energy, transfer baggage, steal your peace, drag you onto emotional roller coasters, and block the blessings meant for you. And while the costs are real, so is the hope. You are not stuck. You can break free. Your destiny is too sacred to waste on counterfeit attachments. Your peace is too valuable to hand over for temporary pleasure. And your future partner, the one God has set apart for you, deserves the whole, healed, and free version of you. Chosen ones, guard your temple like it is treasure, because it is. Protect your peace, your joy, your energy, and your future. And remember, what feels like a single weak moment can echo for years, but what feels like a single decision to walk away can also set you free for life. If this message has spoken to your spirit, declare it now. Type freedom in the comments to claim release from every counterfeit, every soul tie, and every burden that was never yours to carry. Your destiny is waiting. Step into it, whole and unshaken.